Hey guys, welcome to the makeup tutorial. Start with your foundation, eye primer, and chapstick. All right, let's go. I'm gonna use the Venus XL. Woohoo! Yeah, I like this palette. Okay, so let's start with blank canvas. I really like this neutral color, and it is a matte. So I'm gonna use it on a paddle brush, and I'm gonna put it all over my eye, from my lashes all the way to my brow. So this is my base color. It's basically what everything's gonna mix into. It's a nice little foundation color. Okay, and then we're gonna go into Scallop, which is a really nice soft pink. It's also a matte color. I feel like it has a little bit of shine to it that you can't really see, but anyway, I am using a little bit of a fluffy brush with a tip to it, and I'm putting it in my crease and right underneath my eyes. So I'm kind of doing that little, I don't know, it's like a dead look from Mascara, and it's really popular in Japan. So secondary color, this is just gonna go into your crease, and it's gonna melt down into the blush, which is gonna take place like right underneath the eyes. So yeah, you can kind of go crazy with this color and just blend, blend, blend. Blending is your best friend. All right, so then we're gonna go into Passion, which is a nice little frothy, kind of warm, hot pink color. And this is what I'm gonna use to kind of create the blush. Now I'm using a little bit at a time because this is such a powerful pigmented color. I only wanna dip just a little bit. So the less that's on my brush, the better, because as I'm using it sparingly, it looks a little bit more pastel. Here I just kind of switched to a different brush because I went a little overboard with the pigment here. And wait, I think I'm not using Passion anymore. I think this is now Goddess that I'm buffing into my cheeks. Anyway, this brush is a synthetic brush. It's a really stiff bristle, but it's still soft on the ends, and it's kind of like beveled around the edges. So I just wanted to really, really smoke this blush out and make it really seamless. So again, blending is going to be your best friend. You don't have to have this same exact brush. I'm actually being really, really heavy-handed here because I'm trying to really like blend it out. Come to think of it, I probably could have just done this with the color Scallop. So anyway, yeah, so I'm going into Goddess. And I'm going to put this right underneath my eyes all the way up to my crease. So I'm kind of taking that same color and I'm intensifying it a little bit. So if you did want to start with Goddess to do the blush, you could always just using it like very sparingly for the blush and then use a little bit more on your brush to get the pigment just a little bit darker. Blending tiny little circles, blending, blending, blending. And you know, for this look, I kind of switched back and forth between 3 different fluffy brushes with different density and different textures. So this one is synthetic and it's super, super stiff, so it allows me to be a little bit more abrasive with my pressure. And then right here, I'm using my fluffy brush. This brush that I'm using right now is also synthetic, but it's very, very soft and it's tapered to a tip, so it kind of fits perfectly in your crease. Now I'm going into Botticelli, which is a really nice, it's like a deep purple wine color. It's also a matte color, so I'm using that kind of right on top of where Goddess went, and I'm using a little bit at a time. And like, see how I just put it on like, which is like the tip of the brush, it kind of already blends itself in with Goddess because those colors are part of the same family color tree, whatever, of this kind of like purple pink. So you don't have to work too hard to get them to blend together, but I always like to go a little overboard with my blending because that's part of the Kelly Eden brand, you know what I mean? So yeah. So I'm just continuing to blend, having a very, very light, steady hand, using minimal product as I go. Like, I'm really just concentrating on blending everything together. So using tiny, tiny little bits. And I think right here, I actually dipped back into Goddess, and I kind of wanted to smoke that out just a little bit because I felt like I lost a little bit of that pigment when I was blending. And then here I'm taking that kind of stiffer, fluffy brush and just being, I'm stretching my eye a little bit, and I'm making sure that like all of the shadow is looking seamless, getting into all the little crevices, little lines, and then I'll go back into Passion. And this time I'm actually using a tiny little brush. This is synthetic, kind of like a tip brush. It's actually a lip brush, I think, and I'm just using it to kind of go right underneath my waterline because I wanted just a little bit of punch of color because I really, really liked that color Passion, but I didn't really want the look to be too like overbearing with hot pink, but I felt like a little splash of that color was just enough to kind of make the impact for that kind of like Mascara goth look. And going back in with Botticelli, and I just wanted to intensify the outer part of my crease right here. I had planned to do a cat eye wing with my eyeliner, so I'm not doing too much on my lid, and that's basically because I have small lids. But yeah, Just adding little bits at a time, being really patient, working with like minimal product on your brush is going to be key. Like, see, I'm not getting any fallout onto my cheeks. So yeah, just use a tiny little bit at a time and just kind of, you know, use little tiny little patting motions. Just pat it on there like a sandcastle. You don't want the sandcastle to break. So you do it lightly, and then you blend with your blending brush. And you blend until you die. Okay, and then I wanted to go into this blush palette that I had. It's from MAC. I don't know what this color is called. I don't even know if they still have it. But I wanted just like a little bit of a softer pink to blend down into my cheeks. Because this look that's from Japan, the like Manhara look, they usually use a pastel pink. Okay, getting ahead of myself. Okay, so this is a gel liner from Stilazzi. They sent this batch to me, and I actually really like it. It's very, very creamy. It's very opaque. It's really easy to work with. I'm working with a MAC 210 brush, which is a synthetic eyeliner brush. And then I've kind of talked about how I do my eyeliner before. I just start with going over my lash line just to start. You want to take breaks in between while you're doing your liner and kind of look back and check yourself out in the mirror and make sure that everything looks even. Adding little bits as you go is going to be key because, I mean, anybody who does eyeliner like, you know, cat eyeliner knows that it can get out of control really fast. So patience is a virtue with this look. Once I have my eyelid complete, then I'll go in and kind of sketch out where I want my wing to be. And again, I'm just kind of like measuring it with the bottom of my eye, kind of like taking the bottom waterline and just drawing it out. And then after I have that marked out, then I'll connect the top with the eyeliner. And again, it really helps if you like pause, look at yourself in the mirror just to make sure everything's even, everything looks good. That'll just help you create a really simple wing. Because it can be really tricky, but just having patience and just kind of checking in the mirror is going to be your best bet for your boys. So the other thing that I liked about this Stilazzi gel liner is it's actually so soft that you can use it kind of as a liquid eyeshadow or like a cream eyeshadow. So I'm actually taking that same pointed brush and I'm just kind of like blending it into the bottom of my waterline. It works really, really well if you want to smoke out your eyeliner or if you actually want to use one of these gel liners as your primer. It's really easy to blend. It dries down really nice and matte. It doesn't feel like, you know, it doesn't feel like shiny or textured. Oh yeah, and then, you know, mascara. I don't really feel like we need to do a full tutorial or explanation on mascara. It's pretty simple, right? We got it. We got it. I'm not worried. You guys got it. And then I took the MAC lip liner called Naked and I went into my waterline. I am now just realizing that this eye look made my eyes water a lot, and I'm not sure if it's because I used either pink pigment, purple pigment, or if it was because of this Naked eyeliner brush. I don't know. Anyway, this is the highlight palette from Limecrime, and I'm using the pink. I actually fucking love this highlighter. It is so beautiful. It's so pretty. It's so satin yet like velvety. It really kind of just brings together the whole look. And it just makes, God, it makes your skin glow. It's really, really nice. I find that the highlighter works better for me when I'm using my fingers, and I rarely use my fingers on my face, but for whatever reason, I think that this formula works really, really well with just using the pads of your fingers. It just kind of blends seamlessly. All right, and then I took these little gems. You can find these anywhere. I'm pretty sure I just bought like a bag of these from Michael's. And then I put a little duo glue on them, and I just kind of put them right underneath my eyes. It's kind of like a nice little added bonus. So yeah, if you ever want like something fun to add to your makeup, you can always get like, you know those like cell phone gems? You can get those, like a pack of those, or you can just get, you know, craft gems or anything like that. They're super cheap. Anyway, the false eyelashes are optional. You don't have to wear it with this look, but I always wear false lashes. Okay, and then for lips, I did Raven from Limecrime. This is a liquid to matte velveteen. And this was me stepping outside my comfort zone because it's been a long time since I've done any dark lip, but I really wanted to challenge myself to kind of step outside my comfort zone and kind of like do things out of the norm. You know, I wanted to give you guys a makeup look that was a little bit different than what I do because I'm so used to doing the neutral lip and I'm so used to doing nude lips and what have you. So yeah. Also, I love this formula because it does not feather. And when you're wearing a really dark lip, I feel like this formula is key because, you know, you don't want it to be feathering all over the place. However, I will say with this specific formula, you kind of have to layer it to get it like completely consistent and opaque through the entire lip, but it doesn't crack, which is great. So that is the look. Thank you guys so much for watching this makeup tutorial. Like, subscribe, comment. Bye!